Are you aware of the budget cuts proposed by Bobby Jindal for Louisiana?
Yes, somewhat.
What's your opinion on the proposed budget cuts?
I would say, of course, it's absolutely going to affect the student body, but I think there's going to be lasting effects if these budget cuts do go through because, people who choose to go to choose higher education in your state could be potential workers and or people who might potentially live in your state, and if you harm their education, you could harm their potential job outlook, and people won't want to live here if they see that there's a budget crisis.
As an LSU student, do you think that the Louisiana budget cuts will affect you personally, like your education or your future?
Well, the higher education budget cuts are going to affect my education, my future, and therefore affect me personally, whether it's my job, my family, where I live. It's just LSU is going to be looked at differently now.
As an LSU student, do you think that the budget cuts will affect your degree after you graduate?
Absolutely, because if they make the budget cuts and they're talking about lowering it like almost half, like losing like 2,000 classes, and that will completely diminish the value of an LSU degree. I mean, it's not good.
How do you think it will affect LSU's athletics?
I feel like if people watch the press and they know that LSU is being budget cutted, then people will be less likely to want to come here because I don't know why they would be more likely to come here.
As a person who's not an LSU student but makes their money directly through LSU students through housing, do you think the budget cuts will affect you personally and the company that you work for?
Yes, I think the budget cuts will affect us, and that's only because with the budget cuts that LSU is going to be receiving, not as many students are going to feel interested in coming to LSU. Out of state or in state, transfer students and international students won't be as appealing to come here. And with the increase of beds in the next couple of years or apartment complexes, and the decrease of students or the stagnant student body, it's going to make it harder for us to fill our beds, which it's actually been easy for us in previous years. So across the board with us and our competitors, we're going to see less revenue growth and more kind of us fighting for the market share between each properties to try to attract students to come and live here if they do go to LSU.
Working for a business where most of the customers are LSU students, do you think that the budget cuts will affect you?
Yes, sir. Absolutely. The budget cuts will affect the amount of students that will go to LSU. So as they start making budget cuts, more and more students are going to drop out and go to different schools, and we're just going to lose population. We're going to lose customers that way.
Do you think it'll affect you personally?
Me personally, possibly, just because if obviously we're not able to fill 100% like our company expects us to, then we might be looking at either no bonuses or financially we might have to take pay cuts, or we could possibly even have to sell one of our properties and we may have to get relocated to another property elsewhere.
Hendricks, what do you think about the budget cuts?